is damn crazy right now. Okay, let's talk about CPI. This is absolutely crazy. You can look at on the screen right now. 0.1% month over month. Okay, according to my bullish thesis. Okay, personally, I said, according to my expectation video, I said that I was thinking it will most likely be around 0.3%. And of course, the street consensus was about 0.5%. I thought that it's most likely going to be slightly lower. I talked about this a lot as well, which is I was thinking that food prices and energy prices most likely would be the persistent ones. However, if this actually were to slide off a little bit, this is where we actually start to see the absolute banger of a trend. Okay, so look over here. Food index actually increased 0.5%. Again, like I said, a persisting factor indeed. So this is a disinflation according to my expectation, just as I said before. I do not think that we are going to just suddenly have the food index just trend downwards, saying a negative 1% inflation. I don't think that's how it's going to be going. Food in general is still going to be slightly going up. We just want to see disinflation happening. Of course, hopefully deflation will to come in maybe 3-5 months later. Not sure how that is going to work out. Hopefully that's going to be the case. Okay. The index for all items less food and energy, which is your core CPI, actually went up by 0.2%. And of course, like I said, usually when you have your core actually higher than your actual CPI, is relatively a good thing. That's kind of like a good way that you can actually go through it. So just look at this chart right now. Absolutely just beautiful. Okay, I just love this chart right now. In July, we got a 0.0% month over month. In August, 0.1%. Of course, in September, we kind of get a huge pushback. However, in October, when we got our 0.4, it was surprisingly good. Okay, because we were expecting 0.7 and we got 0.4. And that kind of showed that we have one good report. Afterwards, for October PPI, we also show that we have one good report. So that's 2 reports. Now with CPI showing 0.1%, that's 3 good reports. And with this upcoming PPI, most likely is going to be good because PPI follows with your CPI. That's going to be 4 good reports. With 4 good reports, alongside with the following PCE report that's going to be coming up, where the Federal Reserve are going to be looking at, that is where we are going to start to see a trend down in rate hikes. So now we have to talk about how the possibility of rate hikes is going to be. Because remember, when I actually have in my expectation video, I said it before, if we actually get a 0% or a 0.1%, the Federal Reserve might need to start to pen down a possibility of a 25 basis point increment. So why does this actually make sense? Okay, because right now, of course, we are starting to trend down a little bit. Effectively, we are only on our second month of so-called like good inflation data. Okay, I do not think that the Federal Reserve is going to just suddenly alright, you know what, let's do 25 basis point increment. I don't think that's going to be what's happening. But I think 75 basis point increment is suddenly just off the table already. Okay, showing a 0.1% month over month. I think this is good enough. Okay, I think this is good enough for Jerome Powell to say that, okay, you know what, we are not going to go through with another 75 basis point increment. Because if they go through with another 75 basis point increment, this is going to be the 4th one in quick succession, which is going to be horrible for the market. Okay, so of course, right now I think the possibility of us getting a 75 basis point increment, I don't know, maybe I'll put it like 10%. I think 50 basis point increment is most likely going to be like 60 to 70%, and I would say 20% the leftover for a 25 basis point increment. I think a rates pause or a rates lowering of rates is completely out of the question. I don't think we should even put it in the realm of possibilities. Okay, so this is ridiculously good. All right, let's get through it with the report. Quick summary, let's get everything summed up quick and fast. All right, just look at this column, which is under November. Honestly speaking, I feel that there's nothing bad about this. Okay, you can just kind of look at it. Okay, we don't have any high inflationary number this month. The highest that we actually got is actually coming from fuel oil. But if you look at the energy index, it's actually down by 1.6%. Okay, so let's talk about this 1.6% in the energy sector. Okay, because according to my expectation video as well, I also talked about how the first week of December was where we actually saw a decrease in oil prices as well. So I'm not sure how this is going to work out, okay? But for the next CPI data, which is going to be in January, is going to be reflecting what's happening in December. Okay, what I personally believe is that for that CPI data, we most likely will see even more disinflation happening in the oil prices, which is why currently you can see that the whole entire market rallying like crazy. I even said it in my expectation video, okay? I said that the SPY is going to go up 3%, at least 3%. Okay, right now the SPY is up 2.7%, and we are still in the pre-market as I'm recording this right now. Okay, absolutely crazy. Okay, let's look at food. Okay, food index actually went up 0.5%. However, in contrast, meat, poultry, fish, eggs, which is basically your staple necessity in your everyday life, fell by 0.2%, which is why I thought that this was very, very important. Okay, as much as we do look at food index going up by 0.5% month over month, kinda still, like what I said before, persisting inflation, but at the same time, we do need to look at the things that we actually always buy, which is your meat, poultry, fish, and eggs, falling by 0.2%. I thought that this was very, very important for us to really look at. Food away from home did go up by 0.5%. Again, I think that this is most likely because people are just going back to work as it is, so people are just not cooking at home as much anymore. Okay, economy is kind of recovering, healing economy. I think it just kind of makes sense for people to start to see more food away from home actually increasing in price. Okay, now look at energy. Falling by 1.6% in November after rising 1.8% in October. So I thought that, this is ridiculously good. Okay, I thought that energy prices was going to show us like increase of like 0.8%. Or 0.7%, something along those lines, which is why I thought that we are going to be getting a 0.3% month over month for the whole entire CPI. But of course, energy actually came out to shock us with a drop. Okay, this is not a disinflation, this is straight up a deflation happening right now. So I'm very, very happy to see energy prices suddenly actually showing such a good move downwards. Next up, we'll have to look at what are the core contributor of this whole entire thing, which clearly right now we can see the shelter index was the dominant factor in the monthly increase in the indexes for the core items. Other components were a mix of increases and decreases. Index for communication increased 1% over the month. And then used cars and trucks fell 2.9% in November. Okay, so I think that overall you're basically hearing a lot of dropping of inflation, which is very, very good. Okay, we really want to hear more of this. Okay, I'm just going to go down all the way to. Okay, I did not really highlight anything here because these are just basically what all the small items. But just look at the last column on the right side of it. You can kind of see. You're not going to see something that's super duper ridiculous other than lettuce, if I'm not mistaken. I think I actually gave it a quick skim through earlier. I think lettuce is like 8% or something stupid. I'm pretty sure it's going to be, 8.9%. Like, come on, man. Lettuce is 8.9% month over month. But, I don't care. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. But other than that, we got all the base number out of the way. And I think that if we got all the base number out of the way, that should be all right. I feel that right now we are probably doing pretty well in terms of the CPI on its own. Okay, I think apparel kind of went up a little bit, but if you're interested, you can just go to bis.gov, look for CPI release, go to the PDF version and just kind of give it a skim through. I went through the whole entire thing already. I'm very, very happy about it. Okay, I'm going to show you what Wall Street Journal is talking about as well. CPI report shows the US inflation eased in November. Of course, very, very good. Okay, consumer price rose last month, slowest, blah, blah, blah. 7.1% in November from a year ago, sharply down from 7.7% in October, which is very good. Like I said before, this is a huge downtrend. Okay, this is a huge downtrend that we really, really needed. The Fed's raised its benchmark interest rate this year at its fastest pace since 1980s, which is what I said before. Three consecutive running of 75 basis point increment. For us to actually see a fourth, very, very unlikely. Okay, expected to announce a 0.5% point increase, which is a 50 basis point increment. Okay, and then that will bring our range back down to 4.25%. Okay, so of course, I don't think I'll be going through a FOMC expectation video here today because this is more of a summary video for CPI. But overall, you can kind of see where the Fed is most likely going to be projecting how they want to go forward for this, which is why I think the macro market is loving it right now. My portfolio, loving it right now, of course. I think tomorrow Jerome Powell is going to be coming out to talk in a press conference of some sort. I think it is. It's either 1 p.m. or 2 p.m. Eastern time. So I'm probably going to be staying up for that as well. I think in Singapore it's about like 3 a.m. or so. I'm going to be staying up for that talk. I'm not sure what Jerome Powell is going to be talking about in that particular press conference. Most likely, I think Jerome Powell is coming out to talk about the possibility of how the rate hike cycle is going to be going. I do think that the 50 basis point hike is definitely going to be pretty solidified for the prediction that we are currently having. I do want to hear a possibility of a 25 basis point increment. Not saying that I want to see a 25 basis point increment, simply because I don't think that it is smart for the Federal Reserve to just basically let go of monetary policy at the moment. We have not exactly defeated inflation. We are only starting to see the inflection downwards for inflation. Okay, so I don't think that the Federal Reserve should just basically just let loose and continue pumping more money into the system. I don't think that's how it should go. But of course, the sheer possibility that okay, we're penning down a 25 basis point increment, that might actually be good enough for us to for the whole market to actually be optimistic about something. Okay, the market kind of want to move forward, and more optimistically, the market is finding something good to actually rally about. Okay, but I think it's safe to say we should have a Santa Claus rally. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. And yeah, do let me know if you guys enjoy this sort of video. I'm very, very close to my 100 subscriber. Right now, if I'm not mistaken, I'm at like 97. And 3 more to my goal. And I really want to thank you guys for supporting me this year. And yeah, I thank you guys so much for watching. And I'll see you guys in the next one.